Happy Friday, awesome people. I hope you're all doing good. It's your girl Sika in the house. And it's Friday. I'm so excited. I love Fridays because it means that you're going to have a fabulous weekend. And in my case, I'm actually going to have a very long weekend because Monday is a holiday. So I'm super excited about the prospects of all the things that I can get done. Good morning. Before I go into what I wanted us to conclude talking about today, I wanted to let us all know or remind us that on November the 25th, we have the first of our webinars taking place at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You want to come figure out how to make 2024 the most fantastic, fabulous year yet in your life. You know, we don't want to keep doing the same things and expect to have the same results. If you're thinking of making any impact, changing lives, being a better person, and getting all the things that are in your dreams to achieve, you're not going to achieve any single one of those if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing that are not getting you anywhere. I will put the link to booking your seat for that webinar in the comment section of this video after I jump off the video. I would then treat anybody who wants to make a difference in their lives, who wants to see 2024 being the most fantastic, amazing year yet, to sign up for that webinar. It's not free, but it doesn't cost much, really, based on the value, the better person that you're going to become, the know-how that you're going to have. Invest in your own self. That's the only way you become a different, fabulous, fantastic person that you've always dreamt of being. Now, yesterday we were talking about choosing a lifetime partner and some of the things that you need to do or you ought to do if you want to become a better person in your life. The single most important decision that you will make in this life is who you yoke with. The person that you're choosing to spend your entire existence, the rest of your life with, as a lifetime partner, as a husband, as a wife, can make or break you. And so yesterday we looked at various things. If you haven't watched that video, please go back to part 1 and catch up on that video. We're not going to spend very much time talking about what we've already talked about yesterday. Go watch that video. It was just yesterday, right? And some of the things we talked about are not rushing things in this life and allowing other people to put pressure on you. We talked about looking out for the person's behavior, decode their behavior. What are they really like? How do they manage anger, for example? What do they do when they're angry? Because this is somebody you're sharing the rest of your whole life with. And we also talked about looks not being the only thing that you need to look out for in this life, deciding who it is that you want to be with. Today, I'm trying hard to try and conclude this thing so we can talk about something else. So the next thing that I wanted to draw attention to today is emotional maturity. This person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, are they emotionally mature? What are they like? How do they manage themselves and their emotions? Emotions are a part of life. You can't do anything about it. We actually need it. That's the difference between human beings and robots. We need to have feelings so that we can relate to other people. This person that you're choosing to spend your life with, are they emotionally mature? Are they emotionally available? There are some men who just, it's almost as if you're dating or you're married to a robot. They don't have any feelings. And so it's your time of the month and you're menstruating and you're in pain, you're having cramps or you're sick or there's something wrong with you and they're still expecting the 3 square meals on the table when you can barely stand. There are some men like that, very unreasonable. Oh, period. What is menses? Everybody gets their mens. What is this? You're behaving as if you're the only person that has a period. This thing, every woman goes through it. Why are you behaving as if it's only you? There are people who do that. You're also looking for somebody who has emotional intelligence. Somebody who is intelligent emotionally. Not somebody who would say things along the lines of, you're going through a difficult patch in your life. Let's say you've had cancer, you're sick. Something has happened to you, something catastrophic that is scaring you. And this is your husband or your wife. So you come back home, there's a diagnosis, it's scaring the living daylights out of you. The only person who should be your rock and your anchor, hold you, hug you, just stares you in the face and says, but what are you crying for? If you have this illness and you're lucky that they found and have a diagnosis, what are you crying about? So stone cold, no emotions, like they're not emotionally available. It is one of the hardest range of people to try to live with. Emotions are important. We need it to be able to coexist with other people, sharing other people's strengths, their joys, their sadness, their pain. There can be nothing worse than to be with somebody who doesn't feel anything. You've lost a loved one. What are you crying? We're all going to die one day anyway. So what is all this about? Can you imagine living with somebody like this? There's some people that are in marriages and they can't talk to their spouses about anything that is not going right in their lives because they know what they're going to hear. They don't like the sound of what they're going to hear, so a lot of people have just checked out. They don't pay attention to them. They don't share their problems with them. They'll much rather go talk to somebody else that will listen. Make time for you and listen to what you're saying. You don't want to be married to somebody that is stone cold, has no emotions, never expresses themselves, or you can't feel free to be your real, true, authentic self around them. You don't want anybody like that. So that is one thing that you need to think about. In this day and age, because of how difficult the way things have become and how hard life has become, a lot of people are just looking for people that can support them and whose backs they can ride on financially. Before you yourself call yourself out and say you're ready for marriage, one of the big questions that you need to ask yourself is that, am I even financially ready for this whole commitment called marriage? Can you afford to feed yourself? Can you pay your bills? Buy yourself? Do you have a job? Are you employed? These are very big questions that you need to be asking yourself before you go yoking with somebody in marriage. I'm sorry to say this, but there are a lot of my sisters who still think that it's a man's responsibility to come take them out of their poverty. Poverty alleviation fund in their family. They can't do anything on their own unless they're married to a man. It's a man that is going to become the savior of the universe in their family and going to take them out of poverty. If you're a man and you're marrying a woman who can't afford to do anything for themselves, are you ready for the financial commitment? Because in our settings, you're not just marrying the individual, you're marrying everything about them. If you marry a woman whose family doesn't have anything and you're married to her, let's say the parents and the siblings live in a village and you live in a big city or whatever. If your wife is crying every day because the parents don't have any food to eat, the sisters haven't been able to pay their school fees, the brothers have done ABCD, how can you even be happy to enjoy this marriage and this woman? When she's always thinking back to the parents and the people that she's left back in her village to concentrate on this marriage with you. So the big question that you're asking yourself here is, what is it that I'm looking for financially from a marriage? Are you looking for somebody that you can partner up with and live a life with, where you're all chasing your dreams and supporting each other along life's journey? Or are my brothers just looking for sisters who want to sponge off you They just sit at home and are just waiting for you go make the money and bring it back. And sadly, there are also men who've also decided that they're only going to tease out women who come from prominent families where there's a lot of money, or they know that, oh, if I get married to this person, the father can help me get this contract here. And the whole marriage and the premise of it isn't about feelings and how you love them and you think you can make a life together. What can I seek to gain by being committed or yoked with this person? So you need to be very, very careful and ask yourself the salient questions before you get into this thing called marriage. Finances are always something that are very tricky. Many of us shy away from. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but finances is one of the most important things that you need in your life. Hello, yeah, baby. How are you doing? Very crucial. If you're going to eat food in this marriage, I never saw people using air to buy food. We use money. That's the medium of transaction on this planet called Earth. So people are always coy and, feel some type of way when it comes to discussing finances. But the fact of the matter is that finances matter. It takes money to do a lot of things that we want to enjoy and have in this life. And so we have to talk about it. No matter how uncomfortable it is, you need to discuss these issues before you even tie any knot. You don't want any man or woman who is coming into a marriage with you carrying financial burdens. Maybe they borrowed $200,000 to go to school to become a medical doctor. Now you're marrying a woman or a man who has $250,000 worth of school debt that you're taking on in this marriage, especially if you live in the West. These things matter because once you become a couple, anytime you want to make any huge financial decision about owning property, buying, any kinds of assets, all of these things are taken into account. Some people think, oh, but I'm an individual, I can buy my house and she can, but you don't realize that marriage in the West, the two become one. It plays a huge role. And I have seen so many people mess up their very lives before my very eyes with the opportunities that I thank the heavens that I have the ability to see firsthand what goes on behind closed doors in people's houses with what I do. And so on that basis, I would entreat everybody that wants to have peace in their marriage, do not yoke with somebody that is carrying all of this burden. Or if you choose to, make sure that you have made this decision informed of all the, potential issues that would arise by marrying somebody carrying huge financial responsibility or liabilities in their relationships and in their lives. Hello, Sister Ajodo. How are you doing, sweetheart? So think about these things. I have seen people literally lose everything just because of this bad decision of being married to somebody they should have never been married to in the very first place. It has to make financial sense. And there are men who are so lazy. When they see women who have prospects, you're working hard, you're trying to make a buck or two for yourself, you want to set your family free, you want to be the one that eradicates poverty for your life because they don't want to do the hard work that you're doing. They come into your life and paint this picture-perfect relationship to you. And stupidly, you also buy into it. We women, we're so full of emotion. We make every decision based on how we're feeling at a particular time. And if you don't control those emotions and you just go on the basis of how you're feeling at a particular time, honey, you're going to be in trouble. Huge trouble. So, make decisions about who to yoke with on the basis of somebody's work ethic. How do they believe life to be? Is it a circus to some people? That's all it is. It's just a circus. They just wake up in the morning and yeah, you know, just coast through life. If you're married to or yoke with somebody like that and you're the converse, you have the converse way of thinking, you're going to struggle. Which brings me neatly into the next point about alignment of your goals in this life. What is your perspective of life? How do you understand life and how it works? Do you believe that hard work pays and that you have to work hard for every dime that you have? If that is your work ethic and your philosophy of life, you're looking for somebody who has similar philosophy as you. Not somebody who just thinks everything happens by chance, it is luck, you know, you don't have to exert yourself too much. God has a way of blessing certain people. There are some people who are just naturally born to be successful and other people who were not. I don't know about you, but there's only one Prince William and Charles and Camilla, and that's it. There's just one. There isn't any other. So unless you belong to the royal family, married to the Biden family, or any other prominent person in this world, hard work is what's going to get you where you need to be. But some people don't believe that. Some people think that, or some people are just born with silver and golden spoons in their mouth. So if you are fortunate enough to have one of those, then automatically you become successful. But for the rest of us, who are not the granddaughters or nephews or anything of anyone prominent, it is the hard work that's going to get you where you need to be. So if you're not yoking with somebody whose goals align with yours, who just want to coast, as soon as they make a little bit of money, they want to buy a house because everybody else is buying a house. They want to live in the most fabulous, affluent area because that's where their friends are all living. Can you even afford it? Everybody is driving the latest, this kind of car. So I ought to have that car too. When you know full well that you can ill afford it. People are living with this fake lifestyle mindset philosophy because everybody they know is living that type of life. I'm sorry, but do you even know what the sources of income that some people have? You have no idea. You don't live with them. You don't know what they do to make their money. Cut your coat according to your very size. That is the only way you make it in this life. The next point that I wanted to raise is that sleeping with somebody, having somebody who has the biggest swinging pendulum, having somebody that has the nicest apple, you know, that has never been touched by any other person, and wanting to be with that person, it's not a good enough decision or a reason to want to yoke with that person. Some people have allowed intimacy to be the reason why they decided to marry this person. Oh, this person's Bula Matali is so big, it does wonders down below. So, you know, I want to be married to him because of that. I'm sorry. But that piece of boneless meat that some of my brothers or all of my brothers are carrying around doesn't pay the bills. So if you're making a decision based on how good it feels inside and how fantastic he is and the six-pack and how it looks and all of that, things that you do in your bed is the decision-making point. The reason why you're marrying somebody is because of how big or how small or how cute or how whatever it is. My love, my darling. What if this person takes you to the moon and back in bed, but does not lift a finger to do any other thing? Can you live and work and support two mouths on that basis? I have to say that's it is, darling. Maybe that's something you don't know about me yet. Yeah, Bula Matali, that thing. That piece of meat that some of us enjoy so well. If you make that decision just based on that thing, that you think brings you so much fun and excitement, and you allow just that to inform your decision. Do you know that there's so many people whose reason for getting married is, I don't want to live in sin, so I want to have the license so that I can do it whenever I want, however I want. Really? So your whole lifetime's decision is being made on the basis that you're feeling, because of whatever religion you belong to, and how you've been taught that, you have to wait until the knot is tied before you go doing those things. And so because of that, that is your whole reason why you're getting married, so that you can have the license and not feel guilty in doing A, B, C. But you're not marrying that piece of meat, darling. You're not marrying the apple. You're marrying a person. That is just part of the package. Let's face it, if all other indices in the relationship are not balancing, trust me, there will be no time for this Bula Matali chopping. Trust me. If there are no finances, if money is not forthcoming, you can't afford your rent, your mortgage, you don't have a roof over your head, you can't even afford to feed yourself, there are bills piling up, you're stressed out. Trust me, the last thing that will be on your mind is Bula Matali. Let me put this out there. Take it from somebody with first-hand experience. If all the other indices in your life are not balancing with this person, trust me, you will get to that bed and you each be staring at opposing walls in that room. And the last thing you want to do is this. It ain't happening. So if you really base a decision, a lifetime's decision, on how it feels, what it looks like, how good it's going to be, without looking at the other things that also equally need to be in place first before going to that place, my love, you will be very much disappointed. And don't forget that both parties are going to change over time. A 20-year-old guy who, is just coming out of school maybe, or even still in school, the strength and the stamina that he would have can never be compared to a 55-year-old man who has worked for over 30 years of their life and is struggling to make ends meet. The two are not the same. So don't base a lifetime's decision. Thank you so much, Sister Ajuodo. God richly bless you. Don't make a lifetime's decision on the basis of how good it feels in bed, how good he's able to do it. Oh, we can be at it all night long. If you go into any marriage or relationship with these funny expectations, and those expectations are not met, you're very disappointed. But this guy, I thought he was so good, oh. I thought he could do this thing. I thought he could give it to me good. So he's tall and this is all he's got. Like, this is it? Like, really? Seriously? I don't know what is happening here and how I've ended up with this filter, but trust me, I never touched anything. I don't know what that's all about. But honestly speaking, don't make a lifetime's decision based on how good somebody makes you feel in your bed. That's not enough of a decision to decide which man or woman it is that you want to be married to. It's not. Because if you have children, if the bills are not paid, the children's school fees not paid, you can't feed the children, your parents are aging and elderly, and you can't support them, every other thing isn't working out in your love. Trust me. Trust me. And I've spoken to many brothers and sisters about this same topic, and they all tell me the same thing. Sometimes some of my sisters think that the brothers are, they're not good in bed anymore. They can't do this, they can't do that. Sometimes it's not about being good or not being good. The fact of the matter is that the stresses of life are so much. And that in itself can make some of my brothers seem impotent or unable to satisfy you, or have all kinds of illnesses going on in their lives. When in reality, and we shall talk about this properly tomorrow, because tomorrow is a day for talking about health issues. The actual issue is stress. It's real, and it's a big thing that is affecting a lot of people. So my darling, my brother, my sister, don't make a lifetime's decision based on meat that has no bones in it. It's not enough of a decision to be married or yoked to somebody that is going to prevent you from achieving everything that you were destined to have in this life. And if you really want me to delve deeper in this video tomorrow, where we talk about the health issues and actually go into the Bula Matalis and the apples and the things that happen to them and why people are having issues, you want to share this video. You want to like this video. You want to sign up for that webinar that is coming up on the 25th of November if you love me. And finally, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Sika Educates on YouTube, you're not doing well. You don't love me. You claim you love me, but you don't. If you really truly do, just go to YouTube, type in Sika Educates. You will see my face there, and just click the subscribe button. And I will be so grateful to you. For all of you who have been here today, Sister Esther, Mohammed, Samson, Sister Jodo, Kidiza, Kenny, Philip, Samson, all of you, Sister Joy, my brother Kenny, Lola, Be Fit, I love all of you. If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't. I love every single human being, every brother, sister, everyone that is here today. May the heavens bless you. May you never lack anything. And please, don't miss tomorrow's video, because we're going to have a lovely, fantastic time and learn something that's going to help us get ahead in our lives. Take care and happy Friday. Bye-bye.